cast off the yoke of the gay frog. I'm a bee. I'm a bee.
I'm a be redoing my old work. I'm a be. Loose Boys here. The internet's #1 remastered podcast is back. More of what you need. My name is Peter O'Donohue, and I definitely asked for this. Joining me on today's episode are
Ethan. My robot. I don't remember anything about these games. There's a robot thing, right? It's a robot thing.
James Miller, God is a machine. We could say that. That's what a day of sex means, right?
Deus Ex is God from. Deus Ex Machina is the full thing.
Right.
Yeah.
God
Close
from a
enough.
machine?
God fucked a machine?
God. Oh, definitely. That's what gave it the soul. Right? So today's episode was not requested by anyone. And if it was, I didn't check. But behind the scenes, we've discussed redoing some of the older subjects that deserve to be brought up to the very low but still higher standard that we now hold ourselves to. And with the cancellation of what would have been the next Deus Ex game a couple of months ago by Eidos Montreal, I think it's a good time to go back and revisit yet another completely dead franchise that I love, just like Prey, Half-Life, and Dishonored. But author's note, I did wait 20 years to get MechWarrior 5, so I can be patient.
I looked at my Steam library. I was like, Deus Ex, do I have this game? And I thought I bought a collection at one point, but I bought the Mass Effect collection, which I don't think is related at all, so no.
Not in the least, but they're very much of the same time period. Right?
Yeah.
That kind of golden era of the 360, where like basically everything you rented, confidently probably good, because it was when the guys who had been developing games since the 90s just got acquired by godless publishers. And before the godless publishers, ripped the souls out of their bodies and destroyed all their franchises, BioWare or Square Enix in this case, which is why the second new Deus Ex ends so abruptly, is because Deus Ex at some point in the 11th hour was just like, it's a trilogy. So they just fucking end it at what is probably have been the 60% point. Then they fucking canceled the next one, so it's just never gonna end, actually.
They got the Half-Life treatment, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Well, Half-Life, Valve did this to themselves because no one in Valve is in charge, which is why nothing gets done. But I have my own beef with Valve. Anyway, while this was not requested, if you'd like to request something that we'll cover, you can do so at the Discord linked below. And if you want a little zest on the request, you can do it via the Prime channel as one of our patrons. And we have 2 new patrons, I believe, to welcome whilst recording here, if somebody's got them up.
Yeah, Tyler and Mike Sikora.
Yeah,
and Mike Sikora got 2 because he joined mid episode last episode, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But you deserve it, Mike.
At least get the from the top shout out. So whenever he only listens to the episode that he subbed for, he'll actually hear it, right? Because people don't listen to the other ones, I don't think. I don't think so.
Yeah. Like if you want to get a shout out live on air, subscribe between 6 and 9 Eastern Standard Time between Saturday and Wednesday.
Yeah. Make 5 accounts and subscribe 5 times is your best shot of doing that.
Yeah, I think you should also do that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, Jamie has played Mass Effect, not Deus Ex.
I didn't even play. And the thing is, I didn't even play Mass Effect.
Yeah,
I bought it. So that's how close I am to this. But,
So our last Deus Ex episode came out in 2017. In the past 7 years, I did not play Deus Ex Invisible War, but I have played all the other games multiple times. Ethan, in the past 7 years, have you found time to play Deus Ex?
I haven't played much. I'm really excited. I I assume we're gonna get to it, Pete, but I'm really excited to figure out, is there a way to crack open Tally's suit and romance her? Because like I think it would be such a great story beat to get her to be like, oh, you know, my species is prone to disease, so I wear this suit all the time. But for you, Commander Shepard, I'm willing to do it. Like that'd be a great romance, you know?
Oh,
But I can't figure out how to get the option.
I'm
would be
gonna
really
do my
cool.
best. I don't want to spoil too much about the game, about the choices you need to make, but I will do my best to explain how you can fuck Tally, Zora, and Araya in Deus Ex Human Revolution.
What if Tally
I'll
was,
see what I can do.
what if it was a reverse Samus situation? Like, you know how you think Samus is a dude the whole first game and then it's a girl at the end?
Uh-huh.
What if Tally just had like a big old hanger dong there?
Even better, dude.
That should be sick. That's what
I
I'm
mean,
saying.
I was
hope-
having enough trouble getting past the 3 fingers, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think 3 fingers is easier to get past than 4, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, in all seriousness, I've never played a Deus Ex game, and they're they're stealth, right? Super not my thing.
You can kill everybody. At the time, it's funny in retrospect when we recorded this and rewriting it now with my current opinion of policing. I do these games non-lethally because I was like, well, killing a man as a police officer is immoral. That would be ridiculous. which is why I have those achievements in game where I have not
Still
killed
immoral.
anybody.
Still immoral. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
God is machine, and all cops are ethical. Yeah.
yeah. Find out what thin blue line is in Latin, and that's our episode title. But that is the reason I've done the non-lethal playthroughs. You can go guns a-blazing if you want. There's perfectly acceptable gameplay. You do have concealed swords in your arms, which don't have a non-lethal function, so there's plenty of cool shit you can do. Like anything, like Dishonored, like Prey, it is very much a new age immersive sim, and there are a ton of systems running under the hood at all times. Just fuck around. I think you probably would like them, Ethan, but I do primarily stealth non-lethal because I'm God's goodest cop, basically.
Maybe I would. I don't know. I'm sure I would like the story at the very least. I did. So you mentioned Dishonored, and like I did no kill Dishonored, but I did not do the no alarm run, where that's like the true stealth one where you don't trigger any alarms and nobody sees you the entire time.
I didn't either, just because it was too hard, and I'd already finished the game 4 times at that point.
Is
right?
the no kill achievement just called Honored?
Yeah.
No, it's called Clean Hands, but I think there's an opportunity there.
It's called Disc Nuts.
Got me.
Yeah, no, I mean, what I really liked about Dishonored was the movement felt so incredible. Like the blink felt so good too. So I actually really liked starting one stealthing and then getting to a point halfway through the mission where the alarm went off, and then you're just like sprinting, parkouring through like the last bit of the level to just try and get to your target. Essentially,
Yeah,
I found that.
The second new Deus Ex, Mankind Divided, does introduce a less versatile blink. It's called Icarus Dash, but you do get tricked out more and more with mechanical augments. Anyway,
okay, let's talk about what it is, because it's robots, I think.
Yeah, I don't know what the heck this is.
Cybernetic augmentation. Actually.
Adam Jensen, is that his name?
Adam Jensen's the main guy.
There you go.
We'll get into him post break. We are going to set up the kind of status of the world at this point, and then move into where Adam comes in, and also his life prior to Human Revolution. I keep calling it the first game because it's the earliest in the timeline, but
I know where Adam comes in. Eve.
That was a rib. They didn't touch butts, idiot.
No,
True, it was a rib.
Well, you got a girlfriend, you think how sex works now? Dumbass? I don't fucking think so.
He comes to Talia when I crack that fucking suit open.
Yeah, which we'll get to. We'll figure
Bash
it
your
out.
fucking visor in with a big cartoon Flintstone rib.
Yeah, that's one of the the takedowns, the non-lethal playthroughs, just bashes with a brontosaurus rib.
Brontosaurus rack of ribs that you put on the side of their car and it tips it over.
Yeah.
It's like you just hit them in their face, and then their car in the parking lot tips over. I don't know why that happened.
There's a lot of systems working under the hood, dude. It's very complex. So the world of Deus Ex is very much plugged into multiple very classic real-world conspiracies like the Freemasons, Knights Templar, Area 51, and of course the Illuminati. The Illuminati are the overarching bad guys of the Deus Ex franchise. They're very much, they pull in the strings, as well as some of their subsidiaries, which we will get into. So I'm going to kind of pop back and forth between real world Illuminati history. Frankly, finding out that they were real at all was a shocker to me. But so
I don't remember from 2017, but is this going to be Kindergarten Cop and then you trick me?
No, that was Silent Hill.
Okay.
Honestly,
just checking.
I don't think it works now that I had the thought and I'm going to say it. But if it didn't hit the first time quite as well as it could have, Pete. And I think if you did it again 8 years later, it would have been very fucking funny to be like, it's all Kindergarten Cop all the time.
Well, don't put that idea in my fucking head.
the Silent Hill remake's coming out, right?
People did
just
like
do Kindergarten Cop again with no.
I think I was genuinely angry back then. I was like just mad that you got me.
Yeah, I think there was also the problem that we were younger and we had all had 11 beers. So
we were either super drunk or super hungover. I don't remember which, but that's how it went back then.
That's why we're bringing Deus Ex up to our new standard here of me kind of being on track.
Yeah, so for this clean, concise, on-track presentation that you guys have been getting so far, this is so
exactly. Yeah. This is what it's like when we're professionals. We are not talking about having sex from characters of different games at all.
And then Adam said, "It's not a tumor; it's a cybernetic implant." And
exactly.
Okay,
so despite being dissolved. This is real world history. Despite being dissolved by Pope Clement V in 1311, the Templars, the Knights Templar, continued to operate in secret as well as kind of control the world's banking systems at all times. They would secretly fund organizations they found useful for multiple centuries. Eventually, they began to fund the Illuminati, and this is real. The Illuminati was founded by Adam Weishaupt, on May 1st, 1776. So you got the Illuminati in right before America. So no wonder they're so entangled, right?
Like,
that's cute. That's my dog's given birthday. Is
May 1st?
Yeah.
Yep. I didn't know Ice was a little Illuminati doggo.
Yeah, she's been back there.
No wonder she's so old. You've been giving her nothing but children's blood for 14 years.
That's what Librella is, actually. Yeah.
You're thinking of pit bulls, Peter.
What?
Yeah.
I'm thinking of pit bulls. They're the ones that eat all the children's blood.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Named Princess or Cupcake. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right. So, in and out of the Deus Ex timeline, the foundation of the Illuminati, May 1st, 1776, Ice's birthday, is canon. So this is real, and also within the game, Ice confirmed, Lore Boys canon, Deus Ex dog, best girl. Yeah.
A little quick aside on the Illuminati, because I did pull up the Wikipedia page when you started talking about them.
I might have this.
Super fun that the name refers to them as the Bavarian Illuminati. They're not as menacing when you picture them in like later hosen with like a black forest chocolate cake.
The big horn.
Oh, we are going to get you. Oh, you better watch out. They're very powerful.
Yeah. People honestly think it's airplanes that are disseminating chemtrails into the atmosphere, but it's actually just like the guy in the mountains with the big horn blowing out mind control mist. He's basically it's like when you shotgun someone with a joint. He's just like shotgunning the chemtrails into the atmosphere from the top of the mountain. So Adam Weishaupt was a real guy who, like a lot of philosophers at the time, was very, very high on his own enlightenment and chemtrails, as we've already established. He, like a lot of managerial dorks, figured that he knew best and it could help manage and enlighten all of humanity, freeing him from, quote, religious bondage and corrupt governments. I love the mission statement of the Illuminati being just like, damn, corrupt government is the worst.
Yeah.
Also, major, like, massive religious institutions, and it's all just become completely, again, brain rotted into just like this web of nonsense.
Well, just like the modern conspiracy movement too, being so fixated on this boogeyman that is the Illuminati, when it's like, no, there's still a corrupt government and corrupt religious organizations that are actually oppressing us and actually doing bad things. And like, you could just, all that vitriol, like all the energy that conspiracy theorists have, like if they just...
So I do want to put a pin in. I want to put a pin in this because not only are you completely right, I do make a point about it later, but the creation of nonsensical conspiracy theories as a shield for actual corrupt sources of power is canon in Deus Ex. So we will get into this. This is one of those things that something old. It is fun and also kind of black pills me a little bit, where it's just like, damn, we've never solved a fucking problem in our lives, right? You're like, you're just like reading something that is just like an exact problem that happened this week, but the names are different and also the date on the newspaper, right? Like, so we can save that just in case, because it will come up later on in the episode.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Where was I? So Adam Weishaupt joined the Freemasons in 1777 and began using his Masonic connections to initiate more and more members into the Illuminati. I have the Deus Exified version of the Illuminati, the classic Pyramid and I. Obviously I'm a massive fan of the new Deus Ex. Sometimes I get a little upset with changes in art style. I think the new direction of the Eidos Montreal Deus Exes is a massive improvement over the very kind of clunky and origami-like art style of old PC games from the old one. But this is the new Illuminati symbol. It is still the triangle in the eye, but it's got a little bit more.
Dude, Eidos gave a 4-day work week to their employees, and look, no more day of sex, dude.
You're right. That's what we should go back to crunch.
Yeah. It's very they gave it, I do like it, don't get me wrong, but the symbol of the eye is very much like there's some comic strip that the characters have those eyes that I can't think of. It's also a little like star signy, like astrology sign, like Pisces is like the 69 or
yeah. Looks like they took the bottom eyelid off the PBS logo and just stuck it on a pyramid.
Oh, maybe it is PBS, eh?
Yeah. Oh shit. Maybe PBS is the Illuminati.
I love Nova. So within the fiction, they continued to work in the shadows and influence powerful people for centuries until they started branching out in the 20th century with the foundation of Majestic 12 and the Bilderberg Group. We're going to start with the Bilderberg Group. They're real, and they meet every year. These are
the real evil people.
Yes. Yeah. Most recently in 2023 in Lisbon, Portugal. At first, it was a meeting between influential people who wanted to prevent world wars, but after they ran out of bad guys and the only villain was the United States, it's just a massive capitalist project, and war is fucking great for laundering money. So basically, after 2 world wars, they realized this ain't worth it, guys. And now it's just been infinite war, cold or otherwise, forever. The Deus Ex version of the Bilderberg Group controls the world's entire supply of gold, which of course in real life wouldn't really matter as far as currencies go, since very few countries, if any, I didn't look it up, one of you guys can pull up the clip, are still on the gold standard. I know when
America
my buddy
left it in the 80s, right? Wasn't that
a
Reagan
Nixon
thing?
did it. It was after they killed Kennedy, which we'll get into.
No country currently uses the gold standard.
Yeah, there you go.
Britain terminated in 1931. The U.S. did the same in 1933, and then the U.S. fully severed the direct convertibility of dollars into gold in 1971.
What happened
so that would have been 80s? Nixon, right?
Was it in the 80s, or they were just now we don't actually have to have the money in the bank anymore to say that there's money in the bank? We could just friend
of the show, Ronald Reagan did a lot of crazy shit regarding money and economics that I'm not super familiar with. But,
yeah, me neither, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. So in real life, this wouldn't work because the thing that backs your fiat currency, which is imaginary, is the fact that your country is real. As long as your country has borders, your currency is backed. They might have their own currency. I don't fucking know. But the fact that Canada exists, right, backs the Canadian dollar and our GDP and our resources and whatever exports is what it's we don't just need to. We're not all just our hoards of gold anymore, because it's of course fucking stupid. Completely insane people will often complain about separating our currencies from the gold standard, since gold would somehow retain its value if the government shut down and society fell apart, which is just a thing I didn't understand. I would want a bottle of water more than
a bottomless chicken, if you will.
Yeah, exactly. I would want food and water more than I would want like a gold bullion.
I want to clarify, not a chicken with no pants. I meant like the KFC endless chicken bucket. I don't mean a bottomless chicken, like a chicken that's not wearing bottomless pants, because I think chickens are sexy. Okay, I don't think chickens are sexy.
Or just like plucked with like the garters underneath.
Oh man, a chicken in thigh highs. Damn.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
dark meat thigh highs.
Yeah. It's. I'm like, you come over.
Can you imagine going to KFC so horny you order chicken thigh highs by accident? Like, I'm sorry.
It's like you go over to someone's house and they're grilling and they've just got chicken thighs in socks, like on the grill.
Nylons.
Yeah.
Oh, show me your breast meat, baby.
Yeah, you've got like the fishnet webbing grilled into it. It's like a fishnet grill on the barbecue.
Marks,
yeah. You gotta suck it off toe first.
That one was a little specific.
Yeah.
You guys start imagining this whole process?
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty good at cleaning my wings, but look, hang on. If it had a sock on it, I might be a little uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the Bilderberg group, basically. It's they don't play a huge role in Deus Ex. They play a much larger role, I think, in our real world, where all these assholes just come to conspire against the rest of us. But Majestic 12, or MJ12 going forward, is way more important for our story. There doesn't seem to be a real MJ12 whatsoever. It was very much just made up post-Roswell UFO incident in some, in quotes, leaked documents that circulated in the 80s among people who like UFO and UFO conspiracies. Now, I do want to clarify, I made a big deal about this on the XCOM episode. I don't believe in UFOs, personally. I think UFO conspiracies, though, are fun and completely harmless. I think you can believe in aliens to your heart's content. There are other conspiracies that I've ridiculed.
I don't believe in UFOs. I don't believe in UFOs either. We know what they are. They're aliens. We can identify.
There you go. There is a phenomenal scan of a actual FBI document that I'm going to send you guys right now regarding the UFOs and Majestic 12, and I love the FBI sometimes. Sure. Check this out.
They just wrote bogus in all caps and black marker on
top exactly. So in this scan from the FBI, for you guys are the patrons, opposed to redacting anything on the page with black marker as they would have done, they simply wrote bogus, all caps, across the page diagonally. And it really got me thinking, I hope the FBI's documents about how they assassinated Martin Luther King Jr. was also redacted by the same kind of surfer bum.
Yeah, no, it's not real. No, it's fake.
Yeah, exactly. Or civil rights are not bodacious, bro.
This paper has eyes only written on it at least 3 times, and it's clearly scanned if we can see it online, huh?
Yeah. I mean, the government does. Yeah, eventually declassify things.
What does
it? In some places, it just says eyes only. I guess they're worried that people are gonna take a photo of it or something. I don't know.
But it says eyes only under top secret. Top secret something.
Eyes only, eyes only, and then at the bottom top. Okay, I see eyes. It says eyes only just in a lot of places.
MAJIC eyes only.
Yeah.
Magic. Top secret magic eyes only. What the hell?
What?
Oh, you think it's one of those magic eye paintings? You gotta cross your eyes and you'll see something.
Oh, do you cross your eyes at the FBI document? It gives you a 3D image of an alien. Yeah. The games really expanded on MJ12. The documentation that we have, the 80s documentation, that was just made up by some guy. It's just like 80s Q, basically. Just someone doing a LARP. Mm-hmm. The documentation is taken, however, in game as fact. And MJ-12 was formed in 1947 by President Truman after an alien spacecraft had crashed in Roswell, New Mexico. They took the wreckage as well as the dead pilot or pilots. It's always unclear as to, whether or not it was 1 or 2 or 3. If somebody in the rumble seat in this flying saucer that had crashed, they had taken the
Mr.
corpses.
President, there's a second pilot.
Yeah,
in the co-pilot seat. It's like that doesn't change anything. Oh, okay. Yeah.
3 alien bodies is a lot of alien bodies, Jamie.
Right?
So. Right. If I had a nickel for every dead alien body from Roswell, New Mexico, it would be 3 nickels. But it's weird that it happened 3 times.
3 times.
Why does everyone on the internet just want to fuck aliens? There's always memes where it's like they'll play the Mike Rebillard song next to like Area 51 songs. Let me in, I just want to fuck, and it's like about aliens. Everyone wants to fuck aliens.
People on the internet are just freaks. Remember when they dug up that bog mummy and it had like black fluid in the coffin? They were just like, "Let me drink the mummy juice." Do we remember that?
I don't, but I like that.
On brand for them, though.
It's just a thing that happened. Yeah. So, this is and I love this, the completely innocuous, desk statue for Majestic 12. It is a giant, fractured, 5-fingered golden hand, grabbing the entire planet Earth. So, I'm sure they can be trusted with everything.
It has the hand. It has the hand posture of not Master Hand, but Crazy Hand from Smash Bros. You know, the one that's just a little crazier, and it has like the more like gnarled fingers. Yeah,
I was thinking of a different one. Of just like if the Hamburger Helper glove was in this position, and there was just like an orb of ground beef on the box, I would not buy it. It's full of 5G and microplastics, obviously.
Dude, the elite just want to take us and mix us with high sodium powder and turn us into food to sustain them forever, of course.
Right. Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah. We'd be a great diet. Like, just...
Oh, my God. Hamburger humanity? Yum.
So high in sodium.
Yeah. They quickly became the strongest organization within the Illuminati. This is MJ-12. And after Roswell, MJ-12 allowed information to leak out about the alien craft and what they were doing with it, which was in a way to organically create conspiracies that would not be taken seriously, thus acting as a shield against actual criticism. And this is the pin I wanted you to put in here, because this is a thing that happens in real life. Big, broad conspiracies like QAnon start with something true. Governments are filled with self-interested liars. There is a staggering percentage of pedophile to Hollywood producer ratio that you wouldn't find outside of that, right? Mm-hmm. But the global organization in service of the actual devil is so stupid. People involved can deflect the accusations with something like that. So now, if there was something you wanted to go on, it's not even a tangent. It is completely relevant to this story.
But if you're trying to get things done on a higher level, just disruption is all you need. Just disrupt enough, and then you can get away with whatever you're doing. And
frustrating though is that I don't believe that they are coordinated in doing it. They're not disrupting. There's just these people in society that are disrupting. You know what I mean? It takes no prompting from these wealthy elites, these absolute ghouls that run our society to get these people. They whip each other up into a frenzy.
Yeah. Also, just as someone in just say them confidently, and you can get people spun up without needing to do much.
That's exactly what Trump did, right?
Yeah, exactly. I was just about to use it as an example. I'm not a Canadian conservative, so I wouldn't be an American Republican. But god damn it, does he ever make me laugh? He's just a showman, dude.
I just knocked a whole can of spicy water into my pile of laundry right now. Trying to mute when my dog jumped off the bed, and I missed the mute anyways. But
anyway, I mean, it's
disruption right there.
Yeah, you want there's bubbles in the soap in your washing machine, and there's bubbles in spicy water, so...
Well, there's no sugar in it. It's just not going to get sticky.
No, just a little bit of watermelon flavoring for my...
exactly.
My
underdogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stevia for the ants. Pour some stevia out for the ants. The ants.
Oh yeah.
They need it. They work so
Mhm.
hard,
Mhm.
lifting 100 times their body weight every day. Or whatever they do. So MJ12 allowed rumors of the classic gray alien to shield them from the fact that they were indeed playing God through the bovine manipulation project. This project sought to cross the genes of multiple different animals, including cows and probably monkeys, resulting in the hairless big-eyed freaks that we see in-game in the first one. So the gray
Cows and
alien,
monkeys wore jeans. Would they wear it like this, or would they wear it like this?
Mhm.
Monkeys are pretty.
monkeys would be easy. They wear it obviously on their front feet. They have
yeah, their arms.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Right.
and they have a single denim sleeve for their prehensile tail.
right. I think cows wear them the long ways, like just one in each of their right arms and then one in each of their left arms.
Oh, two that way. And then would like a Holstein have like a bra with one cup with 4 things for the udders, or 4 little
Ooh.
bras to get like the udder would be like its own version of cleavage.
Each udder.
Well, I never thought about the udder, but now I think we should just put some socks on it.
Oh, a sock on each, like a little udder warmer.
Yeah, that'd be cute. Knitting an udder warmer for
Just knitting
Christmas.
a little udder warmer. Yeah.
So I have a quote now from a design document from the first Deus Ex, which I think is pretty cool. It says, the archetypal alien, actually genetically manipulated creatures created by Majestic 12 over the years from genetic material of abducted humans and mutilated cattle. First experiments were accidents, but when a few of these creatures escaped from Majestic 12 labs in black copters, I'm afraid I did not look that up, the people began interpreting their existence as proof of extraterrestrial life. Majestic 12 exploited human gullibility to distract mankind from what was really going on. And this cycles back into what we were talking about, what Ethan had brought up early in the episode, is the fact that like a regular guy goes, wow, aliens are real. And then someone who is powerful and just in it for the evil just goes, yes.
Yes,
Basically.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But I'll never say it publicly. But I'll do this little trail of breadcrumbs to convince you that you're actually reading the secret messages that I'm putting out there. And
Yeah, exactly. It's like you need, like your SpaghettiOs is where I'm hiding it.
Exactly, yeah.
The truth, basically.
Sorry, Pia, I got distracted. Did you talk about the gray alien that you posted yet?
Just now.
That's a cow.
Sorry. I got distracted. It says they can go 6.7 meters per second with their front arms, their long arms, and that's 24 kilometers an hour, or let's see, 15 miles an hour. That's pretty fast for a
freak on a leash. I think like a fast Olympic guy could run 15 miles an hour though on 2 legs.
24 kilometers an hour. Maybe I've tried 10 kilometers on an hour on a treadmill, and I feel like I'm fully
Usain Bolt. What are we guessing? Top speed, KMH.
Yeah, I know. When I do like a power walk at 6, he could definitely do 30.
You're not walking at 6, dude. You're at least jogging at 6 kilometers.
No, I do a power walk at 6 kilometers, kph. I'm giving Usain Bolt 30, 35.
I'm starting to doubt this bench press, dude, because I know like that's no way you're walking at 6.
Do you want to know how fast Usain Bolt can run? And maybe it'll change your opinion here, Tammy. 44 kilometers an hour.
Oh,
I was close.
Okay, I thought way less. You know, maybe I'm off. Maybe I'm looking at miles per hour whenever I was on the old treadmill back in the day. Who knows?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I know when I was on my treadmill and it didn't realize it was an English one. Thank you, Quebec. And it was in miles per hour, and I set it to 5.5 just for a warm up. I can't run 13 kilometers an hour comfortably, actually. So I had to slow it way the fuck down. Which is why I do a power walk at 6. You can absolutely power walk at 6 kilometers.
Okay.
Average human sprinting speed is faster than these aliens, apparently.
Oh, well, fuck me, huh?
Yeah. Well, what can an alien bench, though? Okay. And I did do 4 reps at 190 on the bench with my spotter assisted. I did not do it alone, but I did actually manage to hit 4, which is crazy.
I mean, I say average, not average human, average of people who sprint, like from like high school sprinters to up to Olympic sprinters. They took the average.
Right. What's the average between Jamie and I? 2, 3.
They took they also included the average of 70 to 79-year-olds. So that's probably the category that you guys hit, right?
And that's what
I'm at least as fit as a young Joe Biden.
They give the 100-meter time, so it's 1.4 meters per second. No, it's divided by 60. Sorry, I don't know. I don't know how to do the conversion right now.
We only have to figure it out in the next 40 years, so we'll be okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So Majestic 12 post alien leak basically was still fairly good at keeping what it was up to under wraps. They established Picus, the Picus group, which is, this is all funny again coming from a pre-Trump era of like game writing. Picus is fake news. Like the Picus group, their purpose is to it is to smokescreen, and this is also kind of interesting with like some of the wars that are going on right now, and being at the gym is I just watch CNN when I'm on my treadmill going 2 kilometers an hour or whatever,
and you like, run from the current news is what.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's funny to watch a CNN broadcast and understand, especially just like with a mix of independent media and some other stuff, like just like, you know, what I believe is less biased, is to watch them just lie by omission, which is fucking crazy that like the biggest organization in a country just does this, because this is what the Picus group was set up to do. The fictionalized fake news organization made up in an old video game. It's just like, wow, this would be preposterously evil.
Yeah, right?
I was at the gym on Saturday or Sunday, excuse me, and just watching them fucking lie.
Yeah,
like an old story I already knew the answer to, just fucking lying on CNN. I was like, fuck.
And
instead of walking
the CNN
outside,
anchors are just like, oh wow, that's a very interesting point. I guess we just got to take all sides in every debate. Eh? And you're like, wow.
Instead of walking outside, you're literally on one of those rat wheels inside, watching a screen, feeding you lies. It's 1984.
Yeah, dude. You're on one of those rat wheels, some kind of treadmill.
It's
yes.
It's not even 1984 though. It's like, it is like, again, that is giving the government too much credit. It is just idiocracy. Like, it is just it's just stupid people not putting up any complaints about this. I say that as a person who hasn't overthrown the government yet. Guilty as charged.
We are working on it.
I don't want to dwell too long on the speed of these things, but I did, because you said they're made from cow, right? Like, these are just cows. Cows with bones in different places.
They're people who they've abducted, possibly monkeys, fused with also mutilated cattle. Yeah,
a cow can run twice as fast as them. They have their speed.
Majestic 12, embarrassed by making shittier cows. It's just like, it was aliens, yeah.
No, the cow is like the car of the Transformer, and the alien is like the bipedal of the Transformer. You know, they just go wop 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 wop.
I think Optimus Prime is faster on wheels. I don't really know.
Optimus Prime rib,
save me. Yeah. So anyway, Majestic 12 makes their fake news organization.
Picus.
They create called Picus Group. It is hosted by a semi-sentient AI called Eliza Cassan, and you can interact with her in the Deus Ex, the Eidos Montreal ones. Her main server, as of 2027, is actually based in the Olympic Stadium in Montreal, in Canada. This is one of the funnest levels I've been in a game. There was supposed to be, I'm sure we said this 7 years ago, there's supposed to be like a hub world section in the plateau, which is like the kind of urban area just north of the Olympic Stadium.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can hear my adventures in the plateau in the bonus if you subscribe on Patreon, because I went just this weekend. Yeah,
linked below. And I think that the Olympic Stadium, or the Big O in Montreal, is so fucking worthless. Just sell it to the Illuminati, dude. I don't fucking care if they have like an adrenochrome farm in there. Our taxes are constantly paying to upkeep it, and there is nothing
No, I
was
heard
allowed in there.
they're gonna knock it down. I don't know how true this was because I heard like secondhand, but they're gonna pay to knock it down, which is gonna cost like just as much as many years of upkeep for it.
I do feel like I've heard that every couple years or whatever.
every
That's
decade.
like a rumor that circulates that like, oh, they're
Right.
finally knocking it down. I have a friend who abandoned a truck in the parking lot there. He like, because you could do long-term parking, so he just used to like park his truck there all winter when he would go north and do dog sledding. And then one year he went to Yukon to do dog sledding and just never came back. And he kept asking, he's like, "You want to buy a truck? You just gotta go pick it up at the Olympic Stadium."
Wow.
Last time I was there, I walked around see if I could find it. I couldn't find it.
Damn. Wonder
I'm
where
sure
it
they
went.
moved it at some point.
Well, he kept saying he was like it'd been there for 5 years. He's like, no, last time I went home, it was still there.
That's crazy.
Right? Yeah.
That's crazy.
Mhm.
Yeah, so anyway, like I said, the Majestic 12 is up some shenanigans. We will get into more of their shenanigans after the break. Welcome back, everybody. So yeah, like we'd stated earlier, like a lot of corporate news organizations, Picus doesn't report falsehoods so much as lie by omission, which is in its own way like maybe even more nefarious because it does imply that they know the truth and they simply don't tell you. If it bleeds, it leads has been like a criticism of American media for a long time, especially the news. Like the fakeness of it. It's about spectacle more than it's about reporting, right? So to combat the misinformation of the lamestream greedia, multiple, the penultimate, multiple pirate radio and hacker groups formed. In Deus Ex Mankind Divided, the player interacts with the Samizdat group, which means self-published in Russian. These were, I believe, like a counter USSR press group during the Russian Revolution. If somebody wants to pull up the clip and clarify that for us. I read it, didn't write it down.
What was it?
Samizdat. Samizdat. It means self-published. Just pull that up.
The clandestine copying and distribution of literature banned by the state, especially formerly in communist countries of Eastern Europe.
There you go. Yeah.
It's
Deus Ex Mankind Divided is set in the Czech Republic, so
for Slavic eyes only.
Slavic eyes only. I was just me, a racist. I was just like, what are Slavic people's eyes shaped like? I was just trying to imagine the guy reading it, just like my eyes.
Yeah,
it looks like a PBS eye, but without the bottom lid.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
In Mankind Divided, you do interact with Samizdat a lot. And the fact that it's very like subversive and anti-state, the fact that that game is set all within the Czech Republic does make sense, as the Czech Republic is like part of Czechoslovakia, which was part of the USSR. So it is multiple failed states. Hence,
if anyone has the right to distrust their government, and everyone has the right to distrust their government, but if anyone did, the Czech Republic's up there in terms of countries that deserve distrust.
Every ex-Soviet state, American
state, yeah. Okay, let's see. Every South American state. That's America's fault, though. To be fair,
I was gonna say the distrust of the South American governments is truly the distrust of the CIA.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is completely fair. South Asia, China too, probably. Japan seems fine. What the fuck are they getting away with out there?
CIA just has all of South America on a map that are bogus all over.
That is good. Yeah.
That is totally bogus, dude.
Bogus.
I'm telling you, man. I was surfing off the coast of Patagonia. Let me tell you, that whole continent is bogus, man.
Bogus.
Well, we have another episode art that I am capable of doing. Writing bogus over a map of South America.
My note was bogus world map is what I put, because I was going to pick out a bunch of countries that are hella bogus. Actually,
okay. Pete's doing his country tier list for this week's art.
Yeah,
super gonna go well.
It's like just Quantico, Virginia, and nothing else. Everything else is bogus.
It's like Canada S tier. Everything else B for bogus.
Bogus. The other thing that would set up, like, kind of is as a resistance to Picus and the Majestic 12 and Illuminati news organizations, was the Juggernaut Collective. This was headed by an unknown hacker codenamed Janus. Janus, whoever they are, has changed code names multiple times. Alex Vega, the supporting agent in Deus Ex Mankind Divided, she's part of the Juggernaut Collective, and Adam Jensen spends a lot of time being like, hey, I am completely willing to break into multiple facilities and steal from my own boss. Would love a little FaceTime. Just so I know. We're all anti-Illuminati here, right? Don't worry about it. Right? Come on.
Is that Janus the Roman god? Janus?
It is.
No, it's from Friends. The Chandler dates her.
Yeah, exactly. NICE. No, it is JANUS.
Okay. Yeah, that's the god of doors and transitions.
Yeah, that's what I call my butt, because my name's James, so I call it my Janus, and it's a door. It's a transition. Yeah.
It would be the doorway to the New World Order, I suppose. The New World Order free of the Illuminati, not the New World Order ruled entirely by the Illuminati.
Got it.
Although that's really the Old World Order, since they're already in charge, right? What's Alex Jones so afraid of?
Yeah, right?
The New World Order sounds great. Free of Illuminati tentacles? Are you kidding me? Free of gay frogs? Finally?
Finally. Yeah. Cast off the yoke of the gay frog.
I was going to say the shackles, but exactly the same thing. Beautiful.
I mean, could you imagine if we didn't have to drink our government-mandated cups of big frog cum every morning?
I know. Merch available now.
How good would life be? Yeah. How good would life be if we could have we could throw away our Lore Boys branded big frog cum mugs?
You posted that, and I was like, I don't know if I want our logo right next to that slogan.
I don't know if the store would allow it, but I am perfectly comfortable with the logo.
I mean, we have to talk about logo placement, because I think our logo makes more sense on the back of the shirt, but I wanted to talk to you guys about it.
The logo is always on the back of the shirt. I will show you how to do it. It doesn't need to be on the front. Anyway.
Okay.
Post Roswell, the Illuminati was involved directly in multiple major events. They both appointed and assassinated JFK for running his fucking mouth, because at some point he was just like, I shadowy organizations. They're like, oh fuck, man, he's got receipts. All right.
They are putting frog cum in the coffee.
They are making the frogs gay. They killed him for that. Mm-hmm. It would be so funny. There is a brilliant picture of JFK in front of a banner that says an organization for the support of our slur children. Mm-hmm. And just replacing that whole thing with gay frogs would be fantastic.
Yeah. In Deus Ex, do you get to do a non-lethal option for JFK?
You don't actually have to kill him. I've been joking about how Black Ops 6, the next Call of Duty, which the cutscene features George H.W. Bush, who was involved with the CIA during the assassination. And the Black Ops games have been a bunch of kind of Hollywoodified, declassified CIA operations already. Just make the tutorial level killing JFK. Hold RMB to aim down sights, and it is revealed that oh my fucking god, I am Lee Harvey Oswald, and I the tutorial for how do you hold your breath in a sniping mission instead of whatever Gillied Up or that mission from COD 4, it's killing JFK, and that's how you learn how to lead a target and count for bullet drop and all that shit. Just fucking do it, guys. So yeah, they are again, JFK, they organized the collapse of the Soviet Union, fine. And also the Challenger disaster for some fucking reason. I could not find any information from in-game stuff or on various wikis as to why they would just blow up a teacher and I think 5 astronauts.
I mean, it is, there's maybe some truthers out there who are oh, it was aliens did it, or they were gonna find aliens or something.
Or NASA's expensive, so they want the money for the military industrial complex or something.
Yeah, then I could also just see it just being I mean, I know it's fiction, but these people are cartoonishly evil, right? It could very well easily just be we just want to keep the American people scared. That's the only thing we want to do is just keep them scared and it's a news cycle, right? That was a huge news cycle for a long time. People were talking about the Challenger exposing, not looking at where our tax dollars being spent on adding udders and udder warmers to man and monkey.
Dude,
Of
yeah.
course, yes. And you know what we need to do to really keep the American people busy? We need to blow up a teacher in space so we can continue milking our monkey band hybrids. Because they keep getting out.
Milking the monkey man hybrid is like a great euphemism for jerking off.
Well, you know what? If you can start using it in regular parlance, it's barely more obscene than cranking the hog, right?
Yeah, I don't even think it is at all. I mean, obscene in the classical sense of like the hubris that man would ever merge man and monkey and cow is, that's obscene. In the
Hogs don't even have cranks on them.
Yeah, they're
spiral tail.
They're curly tails. Yeah,
Yeah.
You can crank those.
Is that how you guys do it?
That's God's crank.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's on the hog.
I mean, my erect penis looks exactly like a hog's tail. So,
well, not at the beginning, but when you're done with it, then it's all cranked up and spiralized. Spiralized like a nice zucchini. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, put it through a passer roller. I got it home. I like toys. What can I say? A bit of a freak.
So by the 1990s, the MJ12 had become an interest in genetic manipulation of humans, specifically children. So again, children are just like part of conspiracies throughout time because the Deus Ex Lore was primarily written in like the early 90s. So there's nothing new under the sun, including like things you can blame the government for, I guess. Right? Using a shell company called the White Helix Labs within VersaLife. VersaLife is a major organization in the games, especially the Eidos Montreal games. They create and distribute neuropozyne, which is a drug that every single person that we know of on Earth who has a cybernetic implant requires to prevent their body from rejecting the augment or the AUG. It's, I don't know, this is more relevant now. It's the Ozempic, basically. That, like, if you ever, Ozempic is going to paralyze your stomach so you can lose weight and vomit out compost, but you need to take it forever because your stomach and your body will forget how to digest food, basically. So it is very much the big pharma TM racket drug. Where if you are hurt at work and they give you a mechanical finger, you need to take neuropozyne literally for the rest of your life. So they have you by the balls.
Yeah, no profit in curing the disease, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And again, when I'm on my treadmill walking indefinitely and I'm just like having my brain microwaved by CNN, it is just commercials for insurance and drugs. It's insane. It's insane. Yeah. There are no, I was going to say there are no products, but like it's all medicine. Medicine in quotes, of course. Like it's my mistake. If there were commercials about like a poultice ground up by a witch, I think that would probably have more benefits than anything. But it is one of those things that once you pop, you just can't stop. Basically, the Pringles of pharmaceuticals.
The nice thing though is if work did give you mechanical fingers, it'd be a lot easier to spiralize your hog.
True.
Yeah, if it just like came out and that was the specific robot hand you had.
Yeah.
Maybe I should get my arm ripped off in a textile mill accident.
I think you should. Yeah. I know you've been a successful manager at our company, but have you considered being a Victorian orphan?
I lost my arm in a working from home. I lost my arm in a working from home incident, and I filed for a new arm.
Yeah. I took too long of a poop on company time, and both my legs are so numb. I need replacements, basically.
Yeah. What the hell, company? You know how unsafe it is to install a lathe in a bathroom? I'm there trying to think of shit. I confused the lathe for the the toilet paper roll.
Taper paper.
The taper pipe. I'm a little distressed right now. Okay, I'm trying to write an angry letter to my company to scam them for some employment insurance.
You know, it's nothing like working at home with just a fucking industrial lathe running at all times in our washrooms. Just like, it's unsafe. I need hazard pay.
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
I'm gonna send an email to HR.
Just speaking of like losing an arm or something, I know someone whose son got he liked to drink a lot, and in his 30s, he drank too much one night, and he slept on his arm and restricted the blood flow so much that he developed like a nervous problem with his arm, and he had like a palsy or something. I don't know what palsy means, but I think that's what they said. But basically,
palsy is like a disorder in its own.
No, but like cerebral palsy is, but that's a palsy of the cerebrum, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
Other kinds of palsies.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, I'm not sure what palsy means, but that's what I thought. I think I remember them telling me. They told me like 5 years ago plus. But basically, he had an arm where he lost the ability to use most of it just from falling asleep drunk on one side, which has been something I get scared of. Like when I sleep and I have like a numb arm, I'm like, I gotta flip over, man. I'm gonna wake up with a palsy.
You ever wake up sometimes and both your arms are so weak because they're still asleep that you can't like get up or do things properly? I always get so terrified.
It's a catch-all term for all kinds of paralysis, basically, often accompanied by weakness and the loss of feeling and uncontrolled body movements such as shaking.
And I've had a couple of like
morning.
nighttime palsies myself.
I
You get morning palsy in your 30s?
God cursed me with morning wood, but morning palsy as well. It's like, I can't breathe.
There's time now. There's time. I have straight up woken up like having drunkenly fallen asleep like on my stomach, but on top of both my arms, and just woken up with like both arms completely numb, like just no feeling at all.
Yeah.
And like sat up in bed and rolled over, and my arm just swung and slapped my wife in the face. Just like completely uncontrolled by me.
Sorry, I have abused your wife palsy.
She didn't even wake up. So I was like, well, okay. I told her the next morning, I was like, I slapped you in the face last night.
Yeah, you're just sitting there and you're just
like, you what?
The perfect crime, I suppose. So VersaLife is a major organization in the games, like I said. So not only did they create Neuropozyne, they also created Ambrosia, a vaccine that they created to combat the Grey Death, which was a virus that they also created.
Nectar of the gods.
Yes, exactly. And this, again, is just a recycling of an old conspiracy that reared its ugly head during COVID, where nothing bad can ever happen unless the government does it, is giving so much credit to these fucking idiots that are as if they could coordinate anything. They can barely coordinate two countries shipping things over land, dude.
The Democrats can't coordinate a sentence for Joe Biden to say coherently.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
Hey, listen, they don't have Ambrosia just yet to fix it. They were just like, we've been giving him children's blood. It's not doing anything. He still keeps wandering off at the G7. But yes, you're right. God, this is. I was gonna say, oh God, this is gonna date the episode. It won't. Like, he's been old for a long time.
He's been old for 30 years.
Old and brain.
He's been
old for 30 years.
He's been old since the last Deus Ex episode.
Oh yeah, but he wasn't president during the last one, right?
He was
at least he could be high and mighty.
Vice president. Yeah,
former vice.
Former vice. Yeah.
We are a post-Trump podcast.
At present, possibly post and pre, God willing. You know, God Emperor.
Oh.
The 1,000-year Trump caliphate is what I'm waiting for now, baby. So, the Neuropozyne patent was sold to VersaLife by Hugh Darrow. He's a major character in Deus Ex Human Revolution. He is an amputee. He walks with a cane and is missing one of his arms. Can't remember one. But after he had created and patented Neuropozyne, he had a change of heart, and he was just like, oh, fuck. It's autism, I guess. Like, he's just very, very against the science that he had, like, helped pioneer.
Wait, Ambrosia gives you autism?
Of it?
What?
He was against the science of Neuropozyne?
He becomes an anti-augmentation activist. He's just like, this thing that I have created is wrong. Like, there should not be an anti-rejection drug because augmenting the human body with mechanical parts is immoral. And this is like
so many A words. Anti. What did you just say? Anti-aug something, Ambrosia, autism.
Anti-aug activist.
Yeah, holy
Anti-aug, amputee activist, alcoholic old man. Right?
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah. This is not perfect alliteration, but it's close.
Joe
Biden could never do that.
No, his name doesn't even have... Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I was just wondering if it was. I asked because, of course, like it makes sense that it's the more conspiracy theories because that's Deus Ex is just like conspiracy theory, right? But when you first said he disagreed with the science of it, I was wondering if you misspoke and meant like he disagreed with the commoditization of it, which would be a parallel to like insulin and like Frederick Banting, the creator of insulin, famously was like he sold the patent for $1 to the University of Toronto and wanted it to be free for everyone, and Big Pharma sells it for thousands of dollars now off of his patent, which he gave to the world for free. So
Yeah, no, he that may be what it's been based off of. The writing in the newer Deus Ex games is broadly good, but it's a little clumsy. Like BLM, Black Lives Matter, very much kind of got its start in 2013, 2014. I did look this up just to see when the second game came out. The second game came out in 2015, 2016, and they do have posters in-game that say Aug Lives Matter, because the augmented are now the oppressed group. Now, with a thing, with like an actual large problem, at least in the United States, an actual large problem that like there's an activist group that's actively trying to combat, putting it in as like also cyborgs, I guess, in your game while the problem is still prevalent.
Yeah,
not great.
It's also way too close. It's also way too close to All Lives Matter, which was like the counter movement to Black Lives Matter.
I don't know if All Lives Matter was around at that time.
I can almost guarantee you,
2020.
A white racist, the second he heard Black Lives Matter, what about me? For sure,
guaranteed.
Like, for sure,
guaranteed.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't know if they would have been saying All Lives Matter, but they would have been saying,
because I remember
saying White Lives Matter at the same time for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Regardless, I remember All Lives Matter from 2020. Just because it's closer, and I wasn't paying very close attention. There was no pandemic in 2014, so I didn't really think about guys murdered by the cops in the United States a whole lot when I wasn't locked in my house, right? Like, just a foreign problem.
2014, so not looking good for Eidos Montreal.
Yeah, it would have been a year and a half later. Yeah, exactly. A year and a half later, they put in their goofy little posters about, like, especially because the same problems I have with the X-Men as the problem I have with the AUG activists in the Deus Ex games is like Cyclops, the X-Man, is legitimately dangerous. He is a bad analog for a gay guy.
Yeah.
Right? And
wait, what?
Like in the 60s, the X-Men were for oppressed like minority groups, right? Except like a guy who's gay doesn't actually have laser eyes he can't fucking control that can cut a building in half.
Yeah.
and like Cyclops is dangerous and maybe should be isolated from
controlled
the rest of the society. In the same way that I think people with military augments in Deus Ex, like the primary character who has concealed swords in his arms, is actually vastly more dangerous than a regular person.
I still don't get why Cyclops is like a gay guy. Is it because when he stares at me, I melt?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, the X-Men were an analog for oppressed groups in the 60s when they had written that fiction, and the cyborgs post them going crazy event because they can be hacked in the Deus Ex universe is also an analog for like oppressed groups, except it doesn't fucking work when your analog is like straight up dangerous is really my point. So I wouldn't use a man with laser eyes or a guy with concealed swords in his arms as like a person you shouldn't keep an eye on.
I would use the guy with laser eyes to be my butthole hair laser remover technician.
Yeah.
Wait, did we talk about that on the bonus?
Is there recoil? Is there recoil when Cyclops opens his eyes?
There shouldn't be. Light has no recoil in atmosphere.
He about a recoil on these nuts. We literally looked it up before this episode, Peter. Light does have a recoil.
I know.
But it's like we don't know what the scale is though, because like a laser pointer wouldn't have recoil. But maybe if your eyes laser,
it does. It's just imperceptible.
Right, but like would it be perceptible to Cyclops? We don't know.
Again, on these nuts, it would be.
Yeah, I think his eyes.
If Cyclops was waxing my balls, would his head be knocked back?
If anything would be perceptible, it would be a pair of eyes, right? All they do is perceive.
Yeah. So, back on track here. While doing All Lives Matter, you're right.
I was getting you back on track. That's the last thing we talked about.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
We gotta clip that and put it into the soundboard.
Oh no!
Wait, what? What did you say?
Based. So while buying up neuropozyne and also insulin patents, the Majestic 12 bigwigs, Bob Page and Morgan Everett, had been working on the Morpheus Initiative, which was an AI system that would facilitate the mass surveillance of the entire internet. Morgan Everett had been grooming Page to take over the Illuminati one day. However, the others on the council found him to be kind of impatient and dangerous. These are the two men, Bob Page being the white guy and Morgan Everett being the black guy. Just, if you couldn't tell them apart, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah.
I couldn't, based on names.
Bob Page is the guy with the blue diodes in his forehead.
Yeah.
And the red eyes.
Yeah. Unlike JFK, since Bob Page was an insider, they didn't assassinate him for being a little too bit of a renegade. This kind of led themselves to their own destruction here, because eventually Bob Page and Majestic 12 would overthrow the Illuminati altogether and become the puppet masters of the world. The Morpheus Initiative eventually led to the development of Daedalus, which is a powerful AI which features prominently in the first Deus Ex game from 2000 or 1999, whenever that came out, the non-Eidos Montreal prequels. And MJ12 would continue to grow more powerful within world governments. And in the late 2030s, after a series of American tragedies, which I didn't realize we were talking about it so much, the third Biden term, where the 90-year-old president communicates exclusively in a series of vacant stares interpreted by CNN-employed medicine men, and as well as the in-canon massive earthquake on the West Coast that really kind of distracted FEMA and a lot of government organizations to take care of it. The power vacuum, so to speak, created by the earthquake would be filled by Majestic 12 and really give them a controlling stake in the world. And coming up to the end here, VersaLife continued its genetic experiments. However, a fire at the laboratory allegedly destroyed all the documentation and also allegedly killed all the test subjects and their parents, as well as everybody working on it. Yeah, it's so convenient, right?
Yeah, just everyone happened to just get caught up in that thing, huh?
Yeah, exactly. So one test subject, born in 1993, survived, and his name was Adam Jensen. He is the protagonist of Deus Ex's Human Revolution and Mankind Divided. I have one more photo for you guys here.
Okay.
Which is just...
They managed to burn up Obama's Kenyan birth certificate, but not Adam Jensen.
Yeah, exactly. We're Adam Jensen birthers on this podcast, dude. He's not American. You can't elect him.
He was born in Czechoslovakia.
Yeah.
Don't you fucking lie to me.
So the fire was predictably a cover-up. Two of the researchers who had been working with the young Adam grew a sense of morality, like they just suddenly got spines at some point, and they set the facility on fire after Adam was taken away by a nurse named Michelle Walter and adopted by Arthur and Margie Jensen. So, in reality, it wasn't that these two doctors killed all these genetically augmented children or anything. The whole thing was just a cover-up for the escape for Lore Boys canon. All of them. I didn't get a casualty list of just they saved Adam and they were just well, I mean, we should still do our job and burn all the other kills to death, right? All the other kids to death. So
yeah. Just be sure,
Yeah, it's well, no one would believe us if they all got away. So we'll take our kid,
right?
Their work had paid off. Adam's DNA had been modified to the point where he doesn't need neuropozyne to prevent his augments from being rejected, which is in canon why he is so powerful, basically.
Nice.
And also why in later games, JC Denton and his brother, as well as the other augmented characters in the original Deus Ex from 2000, don't need a constant supply of drugs to remain functional. Right?
Makes sense.
A running theory is that that his body's bond with his augments would actually become stronger over time, which is just another kind of canon reason from why in the second game you get sicker augments. It's because
the glue that you fix the wood with is stronger than the wood around it by the time it's all settled and in there, right? The augments.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And while working at Seraph Industries in the late 2020s, his girlfriend, Megan Reed, would actually just like steal his DNA and use it without his knowledge in the research for the company. Seraph is they make augmentations. Basically, they're a pharmaceutical engineering company. I guess they make prosthetic limbs for people.
Cool.
The scientists who facilitated Adam's escape were killed by the Illuminati and written off as fire casualties. I do love that in our current Boeing news cycle.
Gunfire casualty.
Yeah, exactly. The fire shot them both in the back of the head and then burned most of their bodies. Whatever, it doesn't matter. It's a little bit of lighter fluid on their shirts.
Just written in Sharpie right across their face says bogus.
Bogus. That's how you know it was a CIA hit.
Yeah, the O is the exit wound from the bullet that came from the back of their head.
You made me think of fire as a way to kill someone, like a firing squad. There's just like 12 people flicking matches trying to light the kindling on fire at the bottom,
like at a witch burning. Yeah. Where it's like, because everyone's got a blank except one guy, so no one knows who did it. It's just like, that wouldn't work if you're all striking matches at a witch stake. Unless you're all blindfolded, you don't know which match had been struck, right?
Just blindfolded people flicking matches at each other.
Jesus Christ. So Adam grew up not knowing he was adopted, and eventually, when he was 21, he joined the police force in his home city of Detroit, Michigan, joining their SWAT team in 2018.
I love the idea of this kid with like scissor arms and Oscar Pistorius legs that he can like deploy at whim. And just being like, "Mommy, Daddy, am I adopted?"
So he does not have his augments.
Cut his adopted brother's head off. Like, yeah, I know he doesn't, but I like to picture it like that.
Baby Adam Jensen
has a Terminator face, like.
There's like the family photo. Basically, we're just like, both my brothers, my mom and dad, all have meat arms.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, Adam, there comes a time in every young boy's life when you might start to notice some changes. You might get some excretions in your private parts. You mean like the laser that comes out? Yeah. Wait, what? What are you?
His version of a wet dream is like deploying his arm swords and cutting his blanket into 3 pieces.
There's like holes burned in the front of all his little like boxer shorts.
We're gonna have to talk about the birds and the bots.
Yeah.
So he became a cop in Detroit, and he joined the SWAT team in 2018. Adam, being a fantastic Fed, who would morally never kill anybody, as I established, I have the achievements, rose quickly through the ranks of the department, retiring after 2 tragedies involving augmented murderers. In 2020, Adam killed Tyrell Banks after he'd committed several murders and injured Officer Durant.
Okay, Durant you didn't do a no-kill run because you played a murderer.
This happens pre-game.
Yeah, you still did it though. Take that. I'm writing Valve. Take away his achievement, please.
Yeah, do it. In the lore, he killed a guy. Officer Durant was injured, and his life was saved through augmentation. But much like the previous guy, whose name I have forgotten at this point, Durant was also morally opposed to augmentation. It saved his life, but now he is eternally dependent on neuropozyne, since this predates Adam's DNA being stolen and people being able to get safe augmentations. Free augmentations? I don't fucking think so. Maintaining all their squeaky joints and shit. Whatever neuropozyne does. I imagine it as just like the pressure can for the Tin Man and the Wizard of Oz. The pharmaceutical drug that they're all selling to people. Is it squeaky joints? Is the diabetes of the cyborg?
Yeah, it's the Tin Man stuck at the beginning of Wizard of Oz where he's going, insulin, insulin.
And then the witch charges him $700.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like he gives courage to the lion, a brain to the scarecrow, and
medical
insurance medical insurance to the Tin Man.
Yeah, that's it. It's, unfortunately, the insurance doesn't cover the insulin, and he does die. It's out of
insurance covered the hatchet that he already had.
Yeah, exactly.
That was his deductible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And if any of that's wrong, I'm sorry. I don't know what you savages do with your medical debt. Mine was free. The second event, known as the Mexican Town Massacre. Mexican Town is a real city in Michigan, where an augmented 15-year-old posed a threat to several civilians and, more importantly, police officers. The order was given to kill the child. However, Adam refused, and the order was given to Officer Wayne Haas, who pulled the trigger and killed the kid, leading to citywide riots throughout Mexican Town. Again, this is parallels post this game. This is canon for the first Deus Ex, which came out in like 2012. So this is just, again, like I said at the top of the episode, we're all just arguing about the same problems constantly, and nothing is ever fixed. The fact that like some Canadian guys made up this story and it just continued to happen for the subsequent 12 years at this point is just like, wow, dang. I guess
that's just, it do be like it is, huh?
It just like sometimes it be like it do, and sometimes insulin, you just stay rusted in the woods for the rest of your life instead of
just take big frog cum. Pour your insulin down the drain. Yeah. Big Pharma doesn't want you to know. Take your big frog cum. I gotta say it enough so Jamie can't stop me from making a shirt.
Yeah, I'm not going to stop you. I think it's very funny.
You tried to stop him.
I haven't actively tried to stop him. But how are people going to get the big frog cum? It's not illegal to have it. It's illegal to transact it.
Oh yeah, of course.
It's illegal to milk the frogman hybrid. You gotta leave it for the monkey man hybrid.
Yeah.
So the Detroit Police Department used Adam as a scapegoat for the riots and the police killing, which resulted in his resignation. So they were like, the first guy we told to kill a kid didn't do it, so it's his fault since the second guy did. Wayne Haas is a character in game in the first.
Great name.
Wayne Haas. Haas. Very European. He's a character in game who you can talk to in Human Revolution. He's like, I think your speech check tutorial, where he is very, very mad at you for not taking the shot because he's like, I was just following orders, but I am still fucked up about killing a kid, and that was a bad thing we should have never done, sort of thing. It's a very interesting conversation as far as like the speech system in the new Deus Ex games is a thing I have never figured out. It is too complex for my frog ape monkey brain. My frog ape hybrid monkey brain.
Did you just say frog gape? Dude.
That's where the cum is. The big ones. So after his resignation, and basically also another thing that it just keeps happening, Adam Jensen in the 2012 fiction of this game was basically just fucking canceled, right? Like the company just used him as a scapegoat, another dumb mob justice problem that we have yet to solve of just whatever. So after his resignation, Adam joined his girlfriend Megan Reed at Seraph Industries as the head of security. So this is another thing where it's just like, yeah, you went to the police force to the private sector. There's way more money.
PMC now, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. There's way more money in that. He was unaware, like I said earlier, that she had been harvesting his DNA and experimenting with it, taking advantage of his unique Illuminati-crafted genetics. And this would lead into the events of Human Revolution and Mankind Divided. So,
cool.
I have been Peter O'Donohue. I have been the remaster of Peter O'Donohue. This has been our remaster of the Deus Ex games. Find me at Loreboys Podcast on Instagram and also on the Discord. I'm happy to be here. Fellas.
Jimbo?
Twitch.tv/LoreboyJames. You'll find me probably getting into Shadow of the Erd Tree around the time this is coming out. And come check it out. We're gonna do that shit live, and then that'll become an episode. So you could be a part of the building of an episode if you go to Loreboy James on Twitch. And discord.gg/the Loreboys, or just Loreboys, sorry. Discord.gg/Loreboys. is where you can find us on Discord. That's where all the community stuff happens. That's where we chat with you, post pet pics, all the great stuff. It is Saucy's memeing about Hollow Knight being delayed because of they had to remove all the sex scenes in it, which I'm sure is very true. But yeah, you can join that if you like. Yeah.
If Pete's the remaster, you can consider Ethan pre-alpha. I'm new in the Manosphere brain rotoverse.
Pre-alpha.
I'm the pre-alpha. Thanks so much for listening, everyone. If you want to support the show, consider telling a friend, a coworker, family member about it, and helping us to continue to grow, or leave us a 5-star review on your podcast app of choice. We really do appreciate it. If you have a couple extra bucks kicking around and you want to support the show financially, we do have a Patreon, patreon.com/TheLoreBoys. There's a link in the description below that makes it pretty easy to get access to dozens and dozens of hours of bonus content of us joking and goofing and gaffing and riffing and all that good stuff. And of course, for anyone who doesn't trust Patreon, we have Lore Boys Prime, a service which we've always offered. You know, we're a pretty corporate. You know, we put on a good socialist front for the listeners, but we're a pretty good corporate business on our side. We run a tight ship over here. You know, Jamie's obviously in production. I'm in R&D. Pete is, of course, the product, the monkey man, if you will. That we will be milking. So we need some Lore Boys Prime subscribers to come intern for us as milkmaids, right? To milk the aforementioned monkey man. And me in R&D, don't think that I'm going to be, while Jamie is walking you guys through the production side of it, don't think that I'm just going to be sitting idly on my hands. You guys will remember, you know, the invention of the smallpox vaccine came from cowpox and inoculating milkmaids. So I will be injecting you with a lot of different vaccines to protect you from Peter. Don't worry about that. Okay. So the monkey man cometh, but not for you, my friend. So go on, crunch at us, reach out to Jamie's phone number, his personal phone number.
Ethan's just trying to bring in a bunch of interns to milk him so he can lay both Peter and me off. This has been his long-term plan.
Okay, sure. Yeah. So you milk Peter, the monkey man, now, and you work your way up to milking me. Yeah, absolutely. Of course. But you got to prove yourself first.
So, right.
Send us your audition tapes.
Yeah, we can just outsource all the milking to the Philippines, and then we can all just retire
early. Anybody who sends us anything with milking in it, has any video with milking in it, gets banned from the Discord for real.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I think that would constitute a Lore Boys.
Lore Boys.
Out.
Out.
Where's the stop that in?